Ellarigu namaskara. Nanu ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಹುಡುಗಿ. A lot of people watched the previous video where I spoke about application timeline and stuff, and you've been in fact DMing me, messaging me, and asking me if it's needed to have a consultant. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my story of how my entire journey was with respect to consultants. That is, like every other working professional, in March 2018, I decided that I have to write CAT and do MBA. This was not something that I wanted to do, but I thought it was needed that I do because, I'm working and I needed an MBA to get promotions and things like that, or at least that's what I thought. In July 2018, I was suddenly inspired by some special people that I need to pursue what I really want to do. And at that point, I figured that I wanted to do masters. I mean, I didn't figure at that point. I've always wanted to do masters in Canada since I think my final or pre-final year of engineering. So these people told me that I should chase my dreams. I shouldn't give up on my dreams. And that's how my entire process started. My entire journey started. And some of my friends told me that it was needed that I visit consultants. These were for few reasons: that I didn't have a lot of people, or I didn't have any close acquaintances that could help me through the entire process of what I should do, where I should do, how should I do it, and things like that. And I also did not have a lot of time in my hand because at that point I was working 6 days a week and I was traveling about 90-95 kilometers to my workplace. And I hardly had just one Sunday, and I had to figure everything out on this day. And I thought it was not right that I spent so much time and energy unnecessarily on something when I could, go to a consultant and get answers for things easily. For this reason, like my friends had already suggested, and also Google at that time, Google and YouTube, I was heavily reliant on, and I got most of my information from there. And these people, through all these, I realized that there were some consultancies that were very good, and some of my friends had already, taken consulting from them. So I visited, I think, Merit Consultancy first on a Saturday. I didn't really like it there because first of all, they were charging me a whopping 43 or 45,000 for counseling me for 5 universities. As in, I could only apply for 5 universities. That's what they told me. And the next thing that I didn't like about them was I had an appointment done. It was a Saturday. I told them I'll be coming down at 1:30. I went down at 1:35. I was 5 minutes late because, Jainagar and parking, the whole drill how it goes. So I went down at 1:35, and this counselor was supposed to counsel for me just walked out. Maybe she had something prior, but then she could have told me on the call that if I come later than 1:30, she couldn't do it for you. She couldn't counsel for me, but she didn't do that. So I was a little disheartened. I didn't really want to go there because if it could happen on the first walk-in, it could happen anytime, right? So that's the reason I didn't go ahead with them. Next, I also visited Maven, but I didn't really have a very good impression with them, so I don't know. I don't remember a lot about it. I also dropped down to Chopra's and Global Opportunities this next week. Chopra's, very, very professional. The process is so beautifully done. As soon as you enter, they ask you to fill out some forms, they click photos of you, and it's very professional, okay? But I didn't like Chopra's because first, they were asking me to pay 38K to get counseling to Canada. And if I wanted a free counseling, they suggested that I go to New Zealand for my masters. So I don't know, even before I wanted to, get counseling, I had it fixed in my mind that I'm going to Canada. And they had no right to push me to something that I didn't want to do. They were telling me you'll get scholarships, you'll have very good grades if you go there, competition is very less, and we won't even charge you if you plan to go to New Zealand. So for these reasons, I dropped them again. Then I went to Global Opportunities. Now in Global Opportunities, I really had a very good first impression, very, very good first impression. I had a brilliant counselor there, and he in fact told me everything that I needed to know about the entire process. Like, he told me at length. I think we had a discussion for about 30 to 40 minutes. This was the only counselor who spent 40 minutes with me on a Saturday afternoon. Like, I went down there, I think at around 3:30ish. He literally spent 40 minutes with me explaining how the entire process goes, like where I start and where I end. He gave me this timeline that I discussed in my previous video. He told me this is how much time it's going to take you. You are here at the right time. You should start now. And I'm not going to even push you that you started with me, but you just start the process and things like that. And he also told me that he will help me with unlimited universities. Like, there was no bar on how many universities I could apply to, as long as I pay the application fees on my own and I pay the courier charges on my own. That was okay with me, and I was really impressed. So I started my journey with global opportunities. I still remember until the month of January, I had a brilliant time there. They helped me. He, in fact, helped me a lot in terms of what documents I need, how I need to get it, I will discuss this in another video, but there are certain things, certain universities, they ask you to send them documents in a particular way. So he helped me with all those things, and it was really smooth. Like, I didn't have to spend a lot of my energy trying to figure out things. He gave me everything on the platter, and he told me, hey, this is what you need to do. And I just went ahead and did all that in my free time, and I took leaves and I did all this. But what happened was, I still remember I had an offer from UBC in hand, and I didn't know whether I should accept this offer or not. I had a deadline of January 15th, and in the last week of December or somewhere during that time, I try calling my counselor, I try calling global opportunities. Nobody is picking my call, and I'm not getting any response from them. So I'd go down to global opportunities, right? And guess what? There was some issue between the counselor and global opportunities. So they had literally, in the middle of the entire season, they had like, I don't know whether he quit or whether they asked him to quit, but in the end, the one who suffered was me. Why? Because there was nobody at global opportunities who knew my case. They didn't know anything about what I was doing, where I was. They didn't even know I had an offer from UBC. Except my counselor, nobody at global opportunities knew that I had an offer from UBC. I had an offer from, I think I had an offer from Concordia also at that time. So it was like till that time, everything was going so smooth, and suddenly I am back to square one, where I don't know what to do, and it was a very bad phase for me. But then earlier somebody had already told me that IDP doesn't charge you and you should have gone there before only. So I thought, okay, let's just go to IDP and see what they have got, and if they can help me, even because I'm going in the middle of the term, right? I've done a lot of things already, and I didn't know if they would take over my case. So I went down to IDP, and I had a very good time there. My counselors were brilliant there, and they didn't charge me a penny. Like, I spent 29K in global opportunities. They stopped helping me midway. They didn't even return back my money. And the counselor that came in place of this previous counselor didn't even have the courtesy to call me and find out what I was doing or if I needed any help, in spite of calling him multiple times. So, but at IDP, they didn't charge me a penny. They took over my case from the point where I had left, and they helped me throughout, like till I got my visa in hand. I still remember I even attended their pre-departure guide, and I'm extremely grateful that they did that. And the counselors there are very, very knowledgeable, and I would totally recommend you to visit IDP if you're thinking of going with consultants. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just sharing my experience with you. All I want to say is, before you decide which consultant you want to go ahead with, please read some reviews about them. Talk to some people who've got counseling from them, because it varies from counselor to counselor. This thing varies from even there are so many branches of these things all over Bangalore, right? So even from there, between them, there is difference. So before you decide on what you want to do, please research, 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 research. I did a huge mistake and I wouldn't want you to do that. So that's the reason I'm sharing all this with you in my video. So guys, that's it about my video today. Hope it was useful for you, and you're taking something out from this video. All the best to all of you who are starting your journey now. I mean, I think this is about the time that you would be starting. August is the ideal time to start. So all the best to all of you. Hope to see you all in Canada very soon, like within a year or so. And you know the drill. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. And bye-bye guys. Follow me on Instagram also. Okay, so bye.